Once upon a time, there was a completely empty ocean. Okay, fine. A mostly empty ocean, because if you look right here in the middle, you can see a tiny black dot. And if we zoom in on that dot, we see a single tile of land. And a dude named Fred. And Fred is very special because he is immortal, does not need to eat, is a very good swimmer, and he also has 1 billion help. And as we can see it right now, Fred is trapped on this single tile. And we are going to be following Fred in his surely very interesting, I'm being sarcastic, adventures for the next 1,000 years. Because Fred is pretty much incapable of dying, he'll probably just be sitting here most of the time. But like we've seen in some of my past videos similar to this, stuff can and hopefully will happen. Because I have just about every single world law enabled, including a special one, natural disasters. And of course, these disasters will include earthquakes, which have the potential of creating potentially habitable land that Fred can use to maybe even start his own kingdom. Because one thing I didn't mention about him is that he reproduces through budding, meaning that all he needs to have kids is himself. And Fred can have a lot of kids. So without further ado, we have a long time to go and a lot little to look at. So we are going to go ahead and press unpause as, yep, riveting gameplay right here. I do see a cloud. That's pretty interesting. But because of the world law erosion, Fred's tile right here has actually turned into sand, but he's taken a dip in the pool. That's not Fred. It's a 1-year-old. Oh my god, he already had a kid. Well, I guess there's not much else to do, Fred, so having someone to talk to would be nice. But I mean, you guys don't really have a lot of living room right now. But speaking of living room, I do want to go ahead and say I have changed the settings of the game so that earthquakes will always be the largest size, so that they actually change the level of the ground, and they can happen in any single age. Because if you didn't know, big earthquakes can only actually happen in the Age of Chaos, interestingly enough. But I've also set up a big calendar here that'll be rotating as we move through time to hopefully allow for ultimate interesting stuff to happen. But speaking of interesting, yeah, a lot going on here. We're going to go ahead and sim a quarter of the way to our goal to year 250 to see if really anything at all happens. I'll see you guys then. And here we are at year 250, and there's been a couple of earthquakes, and what are all those little blue dots on the... Oh my god. Look at world population. It's almost 900 already. And does that imply that all of these guys are related to Fred himself? Yeah, it does. He's at 108 kids himself. But if we look at any of his children, yeah, they've had more children, and Fred is now their grandpa. Fantastic. And also, not to mention, we have a pretty sweet island here, right? We got palm trees, we got everything we need to live. Just the issue is, I would say they could probably do with a little bit more room. They do still have their one little tile right here in the middle from the very start, but for some reason they're not utilizing it. I mean, it's literally free real estate right here, guys. But in total, it looks like 3 earthquakes have struck. 2 of them actually made the land level go down, but this one right here obviously made it go up. But at least for the very first time in one of these videos, the islands are not dominated by crabs. I do love all of these creatures, just natural names. Like this dude, Mushin, is kid. I mean, come on, you gotta be making this stuff up. And even... Oh, okay, I'll just let that one be there. Oh, but look at the name of this guy, huh? Man, I would totally agree with that name at all. This is totally not edited. Nope. But, yeah, anyway, if I've gotten to the point where I'm comparing the names of the 800 people on this island, clearly there's not a lot to talk about here. So, yeah, we are going to give these guys even more time to grow and expand. Hopefully their population stays the same, because I'm honestly not even sure how I can support this growth. And we are going to check back in at year 500. I'll see you guys then. And here we are at year 500, caught in the middle of the Age of Chaos. I guess I'm going to go ahead and swap it over to the Age of Hope just so it looks a bit better. And world population has nearly doubled. Seriously, guys. I don't even understand why. Creatures usually only populate to fill the amount of space that they have. And these guys literally only have 2 islands. But the thing is, they're not even populating one of them. I don't, like, this one popped up a while ago and not a soul has stepped foot on it. Apparently, just this one's all the rave. Maybe it's because it has the trees, has shade, I have no clue. Maybe we can ask Marinoshka over here or Landon. I actually kind of like that. Most of the names are just complete gibberish, but every once in a while you'll get a normal name. Oh, and I also found Kid again. Not really a kid anymore, is he? But once again, this just proves I don't really have anything to talk about here. A few more earthquakes happened. A couple of them went down. One of them right here went up. But for some reason, they're not doing anything. But I guess it really is still sort of a miracle that stuff has happened anyway. Because if I didn't turn up the chances for earthquakes happening, there's a very good chance that there would just be Fred. And he would still be right here on his little middle sand piece. Before we move on to year 750, since we're halfway done, we are going to look at interesting people here. Fred is obviously the oldest. One of the youngest is named Boar, which honestly I don't blame him. This challenge has been pretty boring so far. Fred has the most kids with 269. Jeez. And the fullest is a crab. Wait, hold up. I was gonna say that they just didn't have hunger enabled, but they do have hunger enabled. What has he been eating? Food consumed 9. Favorite food question mark. Oh god. That can only make me think of what he was probably eating. You're a sick man, Crockerbo. A sick, sick man. And the most health with about, hold up, let me do my math real quick. Carry the 1, count the zeros. About a cajillion health are these 3, which it's kind of weird how these 3 people all have specifically this amount of health. But listen, guys, I'm going to be honest with you here. If we keep just doing this, we might have another island or 2 pop up and more population. But in general, not a lot more is going to change from what's happened right here. Unless we do a bit of fiddling, but not on the map itself, in the world ages. So for the rest of this time lapse, we are going to set it to the age of chaos to ensure that maximum natural disasters happen. And maybe our homeless 2,200 citizens may actually have a kingdom. So we're going to set it up here, and I will see you guys at year 750, 3/4 of the way there. And there it is, year 750. A lot has happened here, including the fact that there's now an extra 1,000 people, because apparently 2,000 wasn't enough. But to be fair, they do actually have a lot of land now, I can't lie. Several earthquakes popped up, all conveniently in the same area too. And if we go in here, wait a second, are those docks? Houses? Pollution? Did they form a kingdom? Oh my god, I have all my icons off. Hold up. Yeah, they did. Finally. The Kingdom of Hildo mold with the motto, "We are life." I guess that's fair. You really are the only life on here, aren't you? Wow, I didn't think these guys would form an actual culture, but how many homeless people do they have? 1.6 thousand. Wow. Oh wait, hold up. Actually, considering they have 3,400, that's actually not a lot at all. You're telling me in these like handful of houses here, they can fit 1,600 people? Actually, after clicking house on the location of a bunch of these people, it all keeps bringing me back to the same house. So unironically, yes, these like handful of houses are actually holding 1,600 people somehow. But wait, if the king is Aowina and it's not Fred, is Fred still fine? Oh yeah, but his health has actually halved. Now it's 525 and he's turned evil. Also, do you guys know like cloud watching, where you like look at clouds and like imagine what shape they are? Yeah, I was kind of doing the same for the islands here because of how bored I was. This island right here is like a crab that had its head taken off by an impaling spear right here. And this one is a dog howling at the moon, barking, whose back was split in half by that same spear as well. Oh, and then this one popped up, and this one's just an earthquake. But once again, we will check interesting people. The highest level is a dude named Sad. That's kind of a weird name. Is it fitting at least? Oh, yeah, well, at least the name fits. Oh my, yeah, that name fits a lot, actually. Jeez, this dude's life has just been pure misery. By the way, all of this negative stuff that's happened right here has happened within the last like hour and a half. Poor guy, and his traits suck too. He's weak, he's fragile, he's one-eyed, he's crippled, fat, and ugly. This guy is actually terrible. Once again, the most kids is still Fred with 415. However, at some point, one of his kids has died, as you can see by the difference between most births and most children. He could care less, though, apparently. Once again, the fullest is a crab. I'm watching you. But that is all for year 750. Clearly, since putting it in the Age of Chaos works so well, we're going to have it be chaos around the clock here as we sim from year 750 all the way to year 1000 and just see how things are going then. And here we are at year 1000, and one thing I immediately noticed is that the population of this kingdom has declined rapidly, but also that the population of the kingdom and the sapient population numbers do not add up at all, which is very confusing here. But as we can see, many new islands have spawned in. Putting in the Age of Chaos really helped. We could even see in the top left that a lot of this stuff has happened recently too. But I'm most interested to see, who are these sapient people? Oh, okay, so most of them are just humans, but for some reason they have just decided not to join the kingdom for whatever reason. We're gonna set the age back up to the Age of Hope just so it looks better, and we can see that the rest of these guys are evil mages. Okay, apparently we're just gonna let these guys coexist with humans, because why not? Oh, demons, great. I'm sorry, is this a demon next to a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old? Oh, behind it there's a 6-year-old. Are we just okay with this? Or is it? Nope, no one's gonna object. Okay, that's fine. What about this demon right here? Oh, great, next to a 1-year-old. Let's just let them do that, I guess. We see some more demons down here, obviously crabs. And oh, I saw it for a second. Yep, here it is. A single sapient crab. This guy must have developed from one of the world laws, but what are the odds of that? He just turns into a human, and now he's a functional member of their society too. That's pretty cool. Whoa, hold up. We can see that there's now grass on this island, actual grass, not just pollution like the island next to it. I can see why no one's living here. This island is terrible. But over here on a couple of these islands, we can actually see real normal trees have popped up on grass. There's been a couple of these videos where grass has popped up, but I still don't really understand how that's even possible. But clearly it's prevalent as it has popped up in multiple different places. You know, maybe I shouldn't have turned on all those world laws, because what the heck is this thing? Oh, it's a crab. Wait, that's a crab? Hold up, what? I'm guessing its subspecies was changed. It turned into the orb. Yeah, that's totally not concerning at all. We're just gonna act like we didn't see that. But the last thing I want to check here is, where did these deaths come from? There has been several deaths from conflict and explosion, but it seems like burning to death. Over 1,300 people have burned to death. But wow, even with 1 billion, I guess you're not immune to fire. But anyway, that is what happens if you follow one dude who can asexually reproduce on a single tile for 1,000 years. And if you made it this far in the video, clearly I did something to entertain you. So I would appreciate it if you would click like and subscribe. And that's about it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.